Dolphins are known to be one of the smartest animals on the planet, possibly because they can conserve their brain power. The marine mammals have developed a neat trick of maintaining partial consciousness, even as part of their brain sleeps. Researchers have tested whether this half-sleep negatively impacts the animal's alertness during the day, but have found that even after 5 days of having their nocturnal alertness constantly tested, they remained as alert and perceptive as ever. The first McDonald's drive-thru was installed in a restaurant based in Sierra Vista, Arizona, located near the Fort Huachuca military installation. Military rules forbade the soldiers from wearing their military uniforms in public, and they weren't about to change into civilian clothes just to grab a burger and run back to base. So restaurant manager David Rich came up with a solution: cut a hole into the wall and allow members of the military to pick up their orders without stepping out of their car. The convenience and simplicity of the idea quickly caught on. Created by a team of students and teachers at the Padlovo Arts College in Russia, the largest padlock in the world, according to Guinness World Records, measures 56.8 inches tall, 41.3 inches wide, and 10.2 inches deep. Altogether, this hefty lock, including key, weighs 916 pounds. Whatever it's protecting presumably weighs a whole lot more. The master of suspense, who terrified audiences with movies like Psycho and The Birds, considered himself an ovophobe, someone frightened of eggs. Alfred Hitchcock explained to an interviewer in 1963, "I'm frightened of eggs. Worse than frightened, they revolt me. That white round thing without any holes, and when you break it, inside there's that yellow thing, round, without any holes. Blood is jolly, red, but egg yolk is yellow, revolting. I've never tasted it." If someone tells you they're sweating like a pig, you might want to point out to them, if you're that sort of person, that if they were being biologically accurate, that would mean they were not sweating at all. Swine are born without sweat glands, so when they need to cool off, their only option tends to be to find a cool puddle of mud in which they can roll around. In ancient Greece and Rome, doctors used spider webs to make bandages for their patients. Spider webs supposedly have natural antiseptic and antifungal properties, which can help keep wounds clean and prevent infection. It's also said that spider webs are rich in vitamin K, which helps promote clotting. So, next time you're out of Band-Aids, just head to your attic and grab some wibicillin. There are 26 bones in each foot. That's 52 bones in both feet, out of 206 total bones in your whole body, which is more than 25%. It may sound crazy at first, but think about it. Your feet support your weight and allow you to jump, run, and climb. Those bones and joints also allow your feet to absorb and release energy efficiently. It's one of the reasons humans can outrun any other animal in an endurance race. To encourage more young people to donate blood, Sahlgrenska University Hospital in Gothenburg, Sweden, sends a text to donors when their blood has been dispensed to someone in need. A common issue with blood donation, along with other types of charitable donations, is that if a donor doesn't know the recipient, it's harder to convince them that donating is worth it. But with this system, which started in 2012, potential donors in Sweden have proof that their contribution is going to good use. Dentist William Morrison and confectioner John C. Wharton invented machine-spun cotton candy in 1897. It was first introduced at the 1904 World's Fair as fairy floss. Then, another dentist, Joseph Lasco, reinvented the machine in 1921. He came up with the name cotton candy, which replaced fairy floss. In 2008, two Virginia sisters found a cornflake that was shaped like the state of Illinois and sold it on eBay for $1,350. Monty Kerr, the owner of a trivia website from Austin, Texas, was the buyer. He explained that he wanted this special piece of cereal for his traveling museum. "We're starting a collection of pop culture and Americana items," he told the Associated Press. "We thought this was a fantastic one." If you got into your car, turned on the ignition and drove up to the sky at 60 miles per hour, it would take just 1 hour to get to outer space, according to astronomer Fred Hoyle. Of course, this is purely a theoretical, but it sure is fun to think about. Clouds are not light and fluffy as they appear. In fact, researchers have found that a single cloud weighs about 1.1 million pounds. How do they know? Well, that number is calculated by taking the water density of a cloud and multiplying it by its volume. Fortunately, the cloud can still float at that weight because the air below it is even heavier. According to British law, any unclaimed swan swimming in the open waters of England and Wales belongs to the Queen. The law originated in medieval times, when swans were a delicacy for the wealthy, but it still stands today. Queen Elizabeth II also upholds a centuries-old tradition with the swans. Every year during the 3rd week of July, all the swans in the River Thames are counted for the Queen in a practice called swan-upping. If a storm is passing and the sun starts shining, you might be lucky enough to spot a rainbow. But did you know that you can see something just as amazing at night? While they're incredibly unusual, moonbows, or lunar rainbows, are caused by the reflection, refraction, and dispersion of light, and tend to happen most often in places with waterfalls and mist. There also needs to be a near full moon for there to be enough light for you to see it. Some odd things have been sold on eBay, from a grilled cheese sandwich with the face of the Virgin Mary to Justin Timberlake's half-eaten French toast. But one of the strangest listings ever had to be for the country of New Zealand. That's right. A man from Brisbane, Australia tried to sell New Zealand on eBay in 2006. The listing described the country as the dodgiest American Cup win ever and said it has very ordinary weather. Despite those selling points, the ridiculous auction gained a ton of interest. The starting bid was 1 cent, and after 6,000 hits and 22 bids, the selling price for New Zealand climbed all the way to $3,000. Eventually, eBay caught wind of the auction and pulled it from its site. Clearly, New Zealand is not for sale, a spokesperson for eBay Australia said at the time. The blue whale is the largest living creature. It's even larger than most dinosaurs. The biggest blue whales can be over 100 feet in length and weigh more than 100 tons. Their hearts alone can weigh 1,300 pounds and are the size of a small car. Unsurprisingly, blue whales have enormous arteries, which pump blood through their massive hearts and into their vital organs. These arteries are so big that a fully grown human could swim through them. Not that you should try it. In 1881, dentist Alfred P. Southwick witnessed a drunk man die quickly after touching a live electric generator. Southwick soon realized that electricity could be a quick and more humane alternative to hanging for executions, and thusly, the electric chair was born and was first used in 1890. Though it wasn't an initial success, a second jolt needed to be used. Southwick eventually worked out the kinks: cotton candy and electric chairs. What will dentists think of next? Fresh, aristocrat Baron de Coubertin designed the Olympic flag in the early 1900s, and he was very intentional with his creation. At least one of the colors on the Olympic flag appears on the flags of every nation that competed in the games at the time, but only if you count the white background of the flag itself. A white background with 5 interlaced rings in the center, blue, yellow, black, green, and red, is symbolic. Coubertin said in 1931, It represents the 5 inhabited continents of the world, united by Olympism, while the 6 colors are those that appear on all the national flags of the world at the present time. In 1908, New York tea merchant Thomas Sullivan sent samples of tea leaves to some of his customers in small silken bags. Many of the recipients assumed that the bags were supposed to be used in the same way as the metal infusers, so they put the entire bag into the teapot, rather than emptying out its contents. After such positive feedback from the happy accident, Sullivan designed intentional tea bags for commercial production. In the 1920s, his sachets made of gauze and, later, paper, included the string, with the tag hanging over the side, so the bag could be easily removed. Some things really do stay the same. It's become a common notion that paper is always a better choice than plastic. In fact, bans on plastic bags are regularly being enacted. However, both paper and plastic have their drawbacks. According to research, paper bag production emits 70% more pollution, uses 4 times as much energy, and takes more time to break down when compared to plastic bags. Guess the best option is to carry reusable bags with you. See you all in another interesting video vlog. Keep supporting.